master all four elements and bring balance to the world.
Surely with an intro like that, which is straight out of the TV show, perfectly recreating it, this means that the Legend of Korra video game will be given the same type of dedication, effort, time, recreating that grand adventurous scale of the show, and hello, my Esperholics. So, as you can probably guess from that intro, this is going to be just as much of a rant and a review of The Legend of Korra, because unlike a lot of people I've seen on the internet, even though I have a personal bias towards the show, I am not going to let that cloud my judgment, and I will talk about what I don't like about this game, despite it being based off of a show I really like. So, first of all, I think one of the biggest issues of this game is the title itself. It has the exact same title of the show, and yet this is a spin-off. As far as I know, unless Mike and Brian, the creators, have confirmed this in some unknown video, this video game has no real connection to the show itself. It is a spin-off. It takes place in between seasons 2 and 3 of the TV show. It is not the show itself. So I feel like the game should have been called The Legend of Korra, Heart of Chaos, or The Legend of Korra, Spirit of Chaos, and you'll see how that would tie better into the story, in my opinion. And on top of that, there were 2 games released in 2014 for The Legend of Korra. There was The Legend of Korra on Nintendo 3DS called The Legend of Korra: A New Era, which is basically a Fire Emblem knockoff where no one dies, no permadeath. And this game, which was extremely low budget to the point it is download only with no physical copies, and it was made by Platinum Games. So it's, a really big letdown, because Platinum Games is a company that is known for making really good action games. So people were expecting the same treatment for Korra, and it evidently did not get that. The game then starts off with a huge spoiler for Season 2, with Korra leaving the spirit portals open, allowing humans and spirits to live together in the same world, the way the Avatar world was originally, before the Avatar existed. So, we now have Korra here fighting a bunch of dark spirits. Again, spoilers for Season 2. And this is where one of the biggest issues of the game really becomes noticeable. The game starts off with Korra being extremely powerful, with her bending being fully maxed out. And because of that, a lot of people, myself included when I first played the game, had the impression that this is how Korra was going to play like, and that the game would work around her extremely powerful attacks to the point they go around the entire screen, attacking multiple people at once. However, this is not the case. But at the same time, I somewhat understand this limitation on Korra. The concept of the Avatar is very similar to Superman or other extremely powerful superhero characters, to the point they are almost invincible. When you're taking that kind of character and trying to adapt them to a video game, you're going to have to put some kind of handicap, some kind of limit on the character somehow. So, despite how I would have liked Korra to be this way, and then the game will work around her overpowered attacks and just make the game more challenging that way, instead they nerf Korra. But before I get ahead of myself, the game introduces the elements with freaking Tenzin, the son of Aang, narrating and talking about how the Avatar must save the world, or whatever. And you beat up the dark spirits, which in my opinion should have had a transparent layer applied to the model. Like, come on. If a freaking indie developer can do that with the Yandere Simulator and the Ghost Girl in the bathroom before she was updated, then so could these professional, animators and stuff like that. Anyway, Korra is then seen using firebending and then airbending, and you get to see all of the elements fully maxed out. And this, again, just further hammers in the point that, Korra was just so overpowered and just so strong that I feel like, well, they kind of had to tone down her abilities. Can you imagine playing the game like this with her being fully maxed out Like, the game would not be hard, the game would not be challenging. They would have to just, like I said, completely rework the entire game to make it work around this more overpowered method of attacking where all the freaking animations go across the entire screen. So, yeah, they kind of had to tone down Korra. Oh, and get used to seeing that. Korra gets beat up a lot in this game, which I guess is accurate to the show. People tend to gang up on her and beat the crap out of her in the show, which, I mean, hey, she's an action character, so what do you expect? That's going to happen to her a lot. Anyway, the cutscene then goes on with Korra screaming dramatically, "Yes." And then it goes to Korra 1 week earlier, and she's seen partaking in a conversation with her friends, and they're talking, and it's annoying and stupid. And then we are introduced to a concept from season 1, pro-bending! So after doing that, I win, and I got a platinum medal because of platinum games. Don't get used to seeing those, because I don't get those very often in the game, because the game doesn't like me and expects you to do really, really long combos just to get a freaking platinum medal. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Anyway, Korra's happy because she won, and that makes Korra happy. She then makes a very, very terrible decision that will drastically alter her life again.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
Korra then makes a really bad decision and wants to go in the alley to help the old man from the Triad, which are characters from freaking season 1, and that's a really bad decision. She goes to the alley, asks if the guy's okay, and that was really bad. She should not have done that. So look, he's evil. See, evil smile. He's bad. Korra made a bad decision, and now she's going to pay for it. So she's attacked. And this is going to drastically hinder Korra's abilities, as you will soon see with the freaking cutscene. So Korra passes out. Bad decision, Korra. Don't go into alleys. That's bad. Bad decision. So the freaking old man is telling the Equalists to go and stop Korra because he's stupid and they're stupid for listening to him. So he's gonna get up, try to fight back, but oh no, her bending is gone. Just like season 1 of the show, she lost her bending again. Seriously, if you haven't seen that by now, then you must not be a big fan of the show. Anyway, Korra escapes with super over-the-top anime action and camera zooms, and more anime camera zooms, and she escapes. And this is basically where the game really starts, and you have to play with Korra with no bending. That's what I was referring to before. All her attacks are gone. And these guys, the freaking Equalists from season 1, are pretty much the main enemy of the game. And there's also this stupid old man who laughs at you and he does nothing. That's his whole character. Oh, and by the way, they don't animate his mouth ever when he laughs. So that's really stupid. It makes the game look really, really, really cheap. He doesn't animate his mouth ever. So Korra has to beat up the Equalists and try to escape. And that's basically what the entire first level is. It's actually okay. And right here's another issue with the game. Korra found something in the chest. Could it be something she could equip? No, it's freaking fan service to please the Avatar fans. It hangs wanted poster. That's another issue with this game. Instead of being able to say, find items you can equip to the little menu at the bottom of the screen, instead you just find little silly fan service that is just there as eye candy. That's really it. It does not benefit the game in any way. The Equalists then decide to stop being stupid and attack Korra at once, as attacking in small groups worked out so well for them. By the way, the cutscenes are not animated by Studio Mirror, the people who made the show. So that's why it looks a little off. The cutscene then continues to introduce a new character and new segment, Naga. Naga, the kick-ass polar bear dog, then saves Korra, and you then transition to another part of the game, the Naga segment. This is basically like an endless runner where you have to have Naga avoid obstacles and try to get Korra to the next location. It's not that bad. I just suck ass at endless runners. I don't really play them that often, so I die quite a bit. But I do get better throughout the game. So as you might have guessed, I actually suck ass at the Naga segment, and I'm definitely not going to show any more footage of poor Naga getting hurt. Anyway, after that, Korra goes to Air Temple Island and she's trying to find Tenzin, her mentor, to try to see if he knows why her bending is gone again. And as she's running around the temple, she finds a certain character, freaking Jinora. She's actually okay within the show itself, but she's reduced to a freaking tutorial help character like freaking Omochao, and unlike Omochao in Sonic Generations, you can't turn her off, which sucks. So, Korra and Jinora are talking about this freaking spirit pool water that she can find, and Korra's like, which ones? Gee, I don't know, maybe the ones that are actually glowing blue for you to hit in the game? So, after that silly banter, then Korra gets ready to kick the Equalist's ass and fight, but they might as well do this.
Actually, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm just going to keep popping up and tell you things you should already know and be able to figure out by yourself.
Why would you do that? You should just go away and not come back since you're just going to be so useless and not actually help me.
Actually, I'm just going to stay here and just keep telling you things to annoy you and stuff.
Jinora honestly tells you things that I feel like you should be able to figure out yourself. It's really not that hard. It's basically common sense and really not that complicated. Blue spirit water, makes you unlock water bending. Then we have the freaking recolors that's introduced here. At least the Equalists now have new weapons, and they, get Korra stuck and she can't move. But it's so annoying. I hate the recolors, and I'm definitely going to talk about that later on. So you unlock all 4 jars of spirit water, and Korra gets her water bending back. Yeah, it's great for Korra, and she can finally fight again with the elements. And then, of course, the game introduces the freaking triad from the first episode of the show. You actually fight them. Oh, and they have a recolor too, by the way, of course. You see what I mean? This game is so lazy. Oh my god. And more recolors. Yeah, after beating their ass, you then go to the second chapter where you fight the freaking red recolors in Republic City, which shoot lightning at you at least, so they're a bit more of a challenge. But it's still really annoying. Like, oh my god, why couldn't they just make more enemies? I seriously feel like this game was meeting a deadline and they're running out of time or something. I don't know. And then you also have Equalists on motorcycles, and you get to go kick their ass. And after you beat up the Equalists, you get to do this and make a cool little combo and stuff. Oh, I love the guy in the background there. He's like, can I hit you too? And he's just gonna drive. Yeah, it's really silly. And then we have a freaking mecha boss fight. Gee, a giant robot Korra has to beat up. I wonder what this will have to do with unlocking earth bending. You see what I mean? It's really obvious, and yet Jinora just tells you things that are, pretty easy to figure out, especially if you've played video games. Like, this is pretty obvious, So Korra beats up the robot with her water bending that she's summoning out of thin air. And you do this for a few times, and then Jinora's gonna pop up and annoy you some more. And then you just gotta beat up the robot again. She'll say the obvious thing, like, oh, maybe you should just trigger fighting the robot, which you're already doing. Anyway, you then unlock earthbending. Yeah. Earthbending is great for Korra. Great. And after that, you then move on to the next level. See, unlike waterbending and earthbending, you at least unlock them in unique ways. With the waterbending, you unlock waterbending by hitting the stupid jars of spirit water, which within the show, the context of the show, that actually does make sense. With the earthbending, you have to stand your ground and fight a robot, and that mentality is part of earthbending, so again, that makes sense. But then with the firebending and airbending, it's literally the exact same thing you've been doing the entire time, and then you unlock the elements, so it's really dumb. As if that wasn't bad enough, remember this is a beat 'em up game, so you will die at one point. Now you think that you can then just press the pause button, go to the pause menu, go select the menu to equip the items, and then, continue the level. No. What you have to do instead completely kills the flow of the game, and that's another issue I have with it. It just completely cuts off your progress. If you die, you can either then go game over, or you would then have to go all the way back to the chapter menu, go over to Korra's room, then go equip the items, then make sure that when you get out the items are there, because sometimes if you don't, make sure you save, like you confirm, and then you go back, they won't be there. You have to make sure you confirm that the items are equipped and then go back. and then go play the level again. But before you do that, you have to go to the Spirit World shop, go buy the items, then go back to Korra's room, then go back and equip them, and then make sure that they are confirmed to be equipped, and then you go and continue the game. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but imagine having to do that every single time you die. That completely kills the flow of the game. It really is annoying, and I wish that I could just go, like in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and just press the select button, or something like that, like on the Xbox 360 controller, or some other button on the keyboard if you're playing it that way for PC, and you just pull up another menu, not even the pause menu, you just pull up a separate menu, automatically equip the items that way, and then continue. But instead you waste all that time just to equip items. It's really annoying and very tedious part of the game. It isn't like that bad, it's only a few seconds, but it really does kill the flow of the game and your progress. So anyway, after the level where you unlock earthbending, you then progress and go to the next level where you unlock firebending. Unfortunately, even the way the level opens up is kind of annoying because it's trying to hype up the fact that you're fighting the exact same enemies again by showing them off right when you are entering the level. The thing is, this just shows how lazy the game is towards the end. You unlock firebending and airbending, unlike the other two elements, in the exact same area. The firebending is unlocked during the first half of the level, and then airbending is unlocked towards the later half of the level where you're about to beat it. And to make this even worse, firebending and airbending are, like I said earlier, unlocked by doing something you've already been doing throughout the entire game, so it makes no sense at all. At least with earthbending and waterbending, there was a sort of theme to it that made sense. With firebending, you just randomly beat people up and then try to make it into a combo, and that's how you unlock firebending. Great. Even though firebending is my favorite element, and it is my favorite fighting style of the game. And then, with airbending, it's even worse. Because again, it's something you've been doing throughout the entire game. Dodging enemy attacks. It's the exact same thing, and yet suddenly doing that at that particular moment makes Korra unlock airbending, because even from the game's continuity it makes no sense at all. Then finally you enter the Spirit World and you actually now get new enemies, but even that has to of course have an issue, because unlike the other ones, these are actually enemies you're not really intended to hurt. The dark spirits are supposed to be creatures you purify and try to not fight, so even then it's like, I get to fight somebody, but I'm not really supposed to fight them. It's stupid. So then anyway, as you progress throughout the Spirit World, you finally meet this stupid effing old man who laughs at you over and over and over, who reveals his name is Toondoon, and he wields the power over some dark energy called the Chaotic Attack. Which is why I feel like this game should be called The Legend of Korra, the Spirit of Chaos, because he's a dead spirit. And he interacts with Korra a lot more in the Spirit World. And you find out that he's trying to kill Korra because she in a past life did something to him. As a silly Avatar OC, this story is not really true, it is not connected to Korra, it is not connected to the Avatar, it's just a silly, made-up story. So then the level after that, Hoondoon makes Korra have trippy hallucinations, and we were finally back at where the game first started with that cutscene. And this time, it's revealed that she unlocks the Avatar save. Yes. You then finally reach the end of the game, the final level, where it starts off with, again, freaking Hoondoon talking about how he wants to steal Korra's soul and use it to achieve immortality. Hoondoon then starts talking about what Korra actually did. In a weird, kind of a not really plot twist, he reveals that actually you did not really hurt him, you hurt his twin, his brother, who's stuck to his body. Yeah. So they were deformed or something. So anyway, you fight Hoondoon, you beat his ass, and then you finally beat the game. And with that out of the way, I'm going to now finally rip this game apart.
Dear, I
I'll first start off with one of my biggest gripes of the game, the fact that there are recolors at all. This shows that the game was extremely rushed and just very, very lazy, and I feel like this is just a slap in the face. Like, I could just see Activision and Platinum Games being like, the game is due in only a few months, what are we gonna do? Well, I have a great idea. Activision, what is it, Platinum Games? I'll just simply have the models we already have in the game and change their color. In fact, I'm going to show you how easy it is to do that. Right there. Now look, it is that easy. I mean, you know, I'm obviously not doing the entire body, but you get it. Like, this is literally it. You just change the tint and there you go, it's a freaking recolor. That is how simple it is to make a recolor for a 3D model. It is only a few seconds. And the fact that The Legend of Korra did that is very sad and very disheartening. As if that wasn't bad enough, there's also a really weird audio issue that happens towards the end of the game with the voice acting, where you can hear what Hoondoon says twice.
To the spirit world, seeking immortality, and after countless ages of searching, I discovered a technique that will make me whole again. A way to extract your chi from what the mystics call your Bamchen.
Did you hear it? Here it is again.
The mystics call your Bamchen.
So from weird audio issues like that one that I found, to recolors, to the fact that Korra's friends are not even in the game, despite that this is a game mainly aimed at fans of the show, to how awkward the animation looks, being very hit and miss, sometimes looking pretty close to Studio Mirror's style for Korra, and other times not so much. This game just has a lot of issues, and it's just really, really unfortunate. Gameplay alone, in my opinion, is not enough to really push completing it all the way. Really, it's just the fact that this is based off of Avatar that makes the game cool, and would I recommend this game? Yes, but for fans of Avatar. If you're just trying to play a beat-em-up game, I think there are better ones out there to play than this. This game is decent. Not terrible, not, you know, really amazing, it's just decent, and that's a shame. This is AS for Gaming going away. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.